Downsizing, Diva, and I'm here to stay. Feeling good, taking my GLP, one day to one whole year, wiped away my fears. Done 60 pounds, but that's no all. I kept on going even through the storms. My A1C went down. I still have work to do. Just when you thought I was done, my high blood pressure went down too. Feeling good, taking my diabetes, weigh one less. I have a great story to tell. I'm on the road to lose 100 pounds. Can I do it in 2025? Guess I can. Downsizing, Diva, and I'm here to stay. Feeling good, taking my GLP, one day.
Hello, 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 and happy Friday. It is Friday. I can't believe it's Friday already. I am ready for the weekend. That is for sure. So, how are you guys doing? How are you guys doing out there? We have Mel in the chat. Hi, Mel. How are you? I am, Mel, how was your day today? How was your Friday? I feel like has been a long week. Delilah, I forgot to text you, so I'm glad you're here. I'm glad you're here. Hi, Pam, perfectly Pamela. How are you? She says, hi, Dee Dee and crew. How are you? I can't believe it's Friday. I feel like it's a Saturday. I feel like this week dragged out, even though I think it's Saturday already. I think it's because um, my daughter didn't have school. So I think that's what it is. Antonio, how are you? You said it was productive. Okay, good. A productive day is always a good thing. I tonight I want to talk about the topic. I don't know if you guys saw the topic, but I want to talk about dating and cheating. All right. So our topic is caught cheating. Should you forgive or should you walk away? That's our topic tonight. Should you forgive or should you walk away? And should I say, have you forgiven and have you walked away in a relationship? So I'm going to tell you guys, I said a couple months ago that I was going to start dating again. And I don't know how that's going to happen, though, because I haven't really made any efforts to do it. But a lot of times when I'm out and about, I'll have a guy talk to me and I haven't been open to doing that. And so I kind of finally opened up my mind to it. And so that's what got me thinking about it. And, since we've been doing all this talking about dating and relationships, I'm thinking, why am I single? Why am I single? And one of the reasons why I'm not married already is because, I told you guys I've been engaged twice. And the first time he cheated. He cheated. And we went to college together. And, I've always been told and have some friends that met their, better halves in college. And, when I was growing up, they would always say that's where you would meet your husband. And that's not where I met mine. I haven't met mine yet, I don't think. So, but yeah, we used to call in the college town I went to, we used to call the girls in the town that weren't at the college, we would call them townies. And so he was cheating with some of the townies, not just one, but more than one. Like I could find out he was doing a lot of cheating. And I'm thinking, when did he have time to cheat? And I want to say, did I forgive him the first time? I don't know if I really ever forgave him, but I never forget, when I found out he was cheating and called him out and busted him out. And, it was just all out there because in our, college, it was, kind of it was like a little small private college. And, we had a lot of close friends, we were all like in the same circle. And so it was just out that he was cheating. And so when I finally confronted him and said something about it, and then, he called himself on makeup mode. And he brought me like these flowers. He arranged stuff in my dorm. It was so sweet. To be honest, I'm gonna have to ask one of my friends. I can't remember if I forgave him or we kept talking. How about that? I can't even remember. I want to say I did. I want to say, did I get back with him? I want to say I did, but it wasn't the same. So it didn't really last. And the trust was broken. The trust was broken. And so once the trust is broken, it's hard to get that back, with me, and I'm sure with anybody else. And so that's why we're not, that's why we're not married. And you know what? They say once a cheater, always a cheater. I don't believe that. I don't believe that once a cheater, always a cheater. I think sometimes you can redeem yourself. I guess it depends on the mentality. But I think when you're a college student, no, social media and all that was not out when I was, like it is now when I was in college. And so, but I think, I don't know if this guy's ever going to redeem himself. And I don't care if he sees that because, he is just always been a cheater. And you know what? One time we went back for like a reunion, a college reunion. I want to say it was maybe like 20 years ago. And so, so we connected. He came back to, we connected. And when I went to where he lived at, he lived someplace like close to the dorm. And when I went to visit, he was living with the girl. He was living with some girl and was telling me how it was shaky and he was leaving. But I mean, still, he had me there, visiting when he was in a relationship. So I just thought he is never going to change, never going to change. And I've seen him since then. And, it's just the last time I saw him, it's like the thrill was gone. It was just like nothing there at all. And so, but I just thought like, geez, oh man. So that's the only official time that I had been with somebody that I could know they were cheating. Who knows if somebody else was cheating? I don't know. But I always say, if a guy was cheating on me, you better cover it up well so I don't suspect it. And so that is what has happened. The guys have, I haven't really suspected a whole lot. That one I caught. And, like I said, over the years, he's just done things that let me know he has not changed. The second time I was engaged, it ended because I just don't think we were like a match. We were not a match at all. He, like I said, a nice guy, but it just really was not a match. I don't know if you guys ever heard the term equally yoked. We were not. But he was just a nice guy. He was almost like kind of overprotective of me. Like he didn't want me going out. He didn't want me going with my friends. I would go with my friends and he would show up there. And yeah, it's so funny because, you don't think about it now, but when I see episodes of like, different, sitcoms, or even if it's like a drama or play, people where, the violence happened, and you'll see like, the lady's out and about and she looks across her shoulder in the booth and the guy is sitting there watching her on a date. I mean, that was that. And so he was doing things like that. I almost felt kind of in a way like smothered. And so, yeah, and it's kind of, he wanted me in the house. He didn't want to go out with my friends. And then whenever he would go out, it would be fine. I'd be like, okay, see you when you get back. When I would go out, like I said, he was there. Like he wasn't supposed to be there. Sometimes I don't even know how he knew where I was. Back then, they weren't putting GPSs and stuff on your car. So I don't know. He was tracking me down. And he was always, once we broke up and I moved on and I thought he moved on, he would like follow me. He would sit outside my parents' house because at this time I, was when I would be back from college. I was back from college and I don't think I was living by myself at that point. And he was sitting out. And I remember my dad saying, I'm about to go tell this dude, like, he got to get off my corner. Because our house was like one, with the second house from the corner. So my dad, and he would sit in front of the house, and my dad said, "You can't sit there. You can't park here. You got, you got to get off the street, or I'm gonna call the police." So then he parked like right on the next street, and but he could still see our house because our house was like, the second house from the corner. So it was just not good. And eventually he moved on, which was good. And so I thought that was cool, but that was the second reason why I didn't get married. And in between time and in the meantime, like the last guy that I was like into and liked, and it was really for like physical reason. He was just a nice specimen of a guy and still is, like, just so in shape, so together. But together in every way, but like wanting to be in a committed relationship. I think he was also very like one of those controlling type of guys, and we just had a connection, but I don't think it was a connection that would take you like a serious, like I'm gonna marry you type. And so we never got married. We never got, we talked about, he talked about it. And in my mind, I just thought like, he's kind of immature for me. Now he was young. He was a younger guy. I want to say he's 5 or 6 years younger than me. And I do know you can be mature and be, way younger than he was. But he just was not. I don't think he was really ready. And so that's kind of my story. That's like my story. I don't know that I have a lot of cheating, but maybe something will come out, when we talk about this. And, so before we start and I start with the questions, I just want to, say if there are guys out there watching, and I know you're watching because there's some beautiful ladies in this chat. I know you are. You can see those profile pics when they come up. I found out 60% of my watchers are not subscribed. So if you are watching this channel, you need to subscribe to the channel. So I know some people are watching, and I know some of those people watching are men. They're just not saying anything. So on the Friday nights, we have so many beautiful ladies in here that I know the guys are watching, and so we want to have some handsome guys come in the chat. We want some guys to come in here, but I don't want to male bash because I love a guy. I love a guy. I love men. I love a guy that's I love an attentive guy. Like I would say, if I had to think of a word besides spiritual and God, having a relationship with God, I think being attentive is like up there next to that. I want somebody that's attentive. And if my goal is to make you happy and your goal is to make me happy, we can't lose. And so I'm looking for somebody who's thinking in that frame of mind. But I do love men. I do love men. So I don't want this to be on here like we're men bashing, because women cheat too. And I do realize that. And, so this is not to focus on, the men, but because we have women in here, of course, that's probably where the conversation will go. But I will say, I've seen two great relationships. My parents, they were, my mom was married twice, and she hit the jackpot with both men, I will say. And the guy I always talk about, my dad is my stepdad. And, I remember one day he told, I don't know if I told this story, but one day I was earning an award for being a great teacher from the PTA, which is the parents. And they, I had an award ceremony, and he was there, and I was introducing him to one of my colleagues, and I introduced him as like, this is my stepdad. And he was like, no, no, no. And at that point, my dad had passed. So at that point, he was like, no, 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 I'm her dad. And so he said, I want you to call me your dad. I know your dad has passed on, but he's like, I, respected him. So I didn't ever want to say it while he was still alive. But now that he's not, I want you to call me your dad. And so I've been calling him that ever since. And I mean, he is just such a nice stand-up guy. So I've had two great experiences with guys. Now, my brother, on the other hand, is, I would say over the years, he's been like a ladies' man. So, and he's settled now, so that's good. But he's been like a ladies' man, nice looking guy. And so, he has options, and he took advantage of those options. And so he taught me what not to put up with guys. And so I kind of learned that from him. And I seeing him maneuver and operate really is probably where I got my I'm tough. Like, I tell you guys with women, I think women don't stick together. I think women are hard on each other. And I'm like a girl's girl. I never want to be one of those women that's hating on other women and talking about other women. And, we all gossip and say this and that. But I'm a supporter of women, I will say. And I feel like a lot of times women don't give each other the grace that we give men. And I know it's a different dynamic. It's a different relationship. Now, I'm not talking about the girl that like stole your man or, is flirting with your husband and doing things like that. But I just think overall we just let the guys get off the hook so easily, and we don't give women enough grace. And so I'm one of those women that do give enough grace. And the balance of it is not giving too much. You know what I'm saying? Like not giving too much. And I will give myself credit. Since I've turned 50, I think I've done a better job of that. I think I've done a better job of kind of being a little bit, having boundaries and like having people stick to it. And so but you know, when you're like a Cancer with that kind heart, you know, people come with the sob stories. And you know, I'm forgiving. And I always think about, doesn't, you know, I should say didn't, because we all know, I always think Christ forgave, and so I can too. But I don't know how many forgives I'm gonna have. And so that's a thing too. So I want to just start off in the chat and ask you guys, have you ever been cheated on? Just say yes or no in the chat. Have you ever been cheated on? And I'm gonna give a big yes, because I know that I have been. So I'm gonna say yes. Have you guys ever been cheated on? Let me know in the chat. Mel says yes. Butterfly says yes. Simply Taisha says yes. Hey, Simply Taisha. Hey, Butterfly. Hey, how are you? Linda's journey. Linda said no. Okay, very good. All right. Anybody else? Delilah, have you been cheated on? Antonio says yes. Okay, okay. All right. So okay, so now let's flip that. Let's flip that. Have you ever been a cheater? Have you ever been the one cheating? Beverly says yes. Jen says yes. Okay, wait, Jen. So are you saying, now let me wait. I don't want to confuse the yeses. So have you been a cheater? And I shouldn't say that because that sounds so bad, right? Are you a cheater? But have you ever cheated on someone? Delilah says, yes, I have, and every relationship has been them cheating on me. Okay, okay. Linda said no. Now, Linda, you've been with your husband over 60 years, so I guess that's true. Antonio says no. Okay, Antonio says no. What? Didn't hear you, Dee Dee. Mel, how about that? You caught that. So I must admit, I have cheated. And I've cheated because I was cheated on. So, you know, so like I started seeing somebody else when I, you know, suspected somebody was cheating. But I will say, I don't know. Yeah, officially, I don't know if we were in a relationship, because you see, I think the way people could get out of it is saying, well, we weren't really in a relationship, or we didn't really define it, but they were seeing other people. So I'm gonna say I have, because I knew I was being cheated on. So I, you know, cheated too. But yeah, but uh, yeah, technically it is. It is. Now, am I a cheater? I am not. I'm a one woman man. You know, I want to be in a relationship with one person. You know, I do like dating, but once it gets to the point where, you know, it's serious and you're intimate, I'm not going to be intimate with several people. So that part of it, you know, no. But yeah, I will see somebody else and explore my options in a heartbeat. I will say that. Um, yeah, especially if you're not being attentive. Like if you're not being attentive, you know, I'm gonna explore my options. If you don't want to define it, because I know a lot of times, and I was just talking to my cousin tonight. How about that? And she was telling me the guy she's been dating for 2 years, and they're friends, you know, and they haven't really defined anything. And I don't think she's 50 yet. If she's 50, she just turned 50. She's not 50, because I would have remembered the 50 celebration. But you know, she was saying she's dealing with this guy, and in my mind I flashed and thought, like, I don't think I would give somebody at this age 2 years without defining it. I just wouldn't. Now, before I probably would, you know, before I turned 50. Now I probably wouldn't, but you know, that's just me now, you know. And the good thing is I'm not trying to have kids. There's no reason for me to rush a relationship. But, you know, I do have a daughter, and I guess I know times have changed, but I guess I do want my daughter to, um, you know, see the value in a relationship, and not just seeing, you know, mom date this guy and that sort of thing. So when you have a young child, I think it's a little different. You got to operate a little bit differently. And maybe you don't, but I do. I feel like I should, and I do. Um, So, and that's one thing, I've never seen, my mom with this guy, that guy, this person, that even when she divorced, she was all, she dated maybe one other guy and then she was right back in a relationship. So I don't know if I don't know. I don't want wouldn't want my daughter to see that either. Um but yeah, I don't think it's now, it for a woman it's a little tricky because when people think you're saying you're cheating, they're thinking you're saying you're sleeping with this guy and that guy. I've never been a sleep around type of a lady, so not that part. But I don't know. So um, let's see. No, I can never be a cheater. What? I didn't hear you, Dee Dee. No, no, I'm a Christian girl. Okay, okay. All right, Beverly. Uh, Pamela's laughing. Cheated on. I think I'm behind. When I was younger, not in my marriage. Okay, okay. Taisha is not telling. Oh, we know that we're gonna infer, Taisha. Yes, agree, Dee Dee. We do have standards. I cheated in the sense of an emotional connection, not sexual, says simply Taisha. Also, not my current relationship. I can never see myself doing something like that to him. Yeah, I totally get it. Now I leave before I cheated on anyone. Yes, I would too. I would too. Mel says the same. Oh, she's saying the same thing. Seems like women emotionally cheat, but what's worse? Okay, that's a great question. So, my other question is, so now that we established, we've been cheated on, some of us have cheated, some of us have not. Jen has a great question. What about emotional cheating? What do you think is worse, if somebody emotionally cheated or physically cheated? And I think I would have to say, I don't know. For me, I think it might be. I know a lot of women say physical. I think for me, it might be, I mean, emotional. I think for me, it might be physical because I'm like a germaphobe and I just think that's yucky. I don't know. Emotional. If he had an emotional attachment to this lady, I would say goodbye, go for it. I think I would be more disgusted with the physicalness of it, honestly. Just because, like I said, I just think that's yucky. To be doing anything behind somebody else is, I just don't like the thought of it. But I don't know. Let's see. What do you guys think? A good question, Jen. Butterfly says my sons never met any guy I dated because I wouldn't allow anyone disrespectful or cheater to come near them. Okay, very good. I love that. Emotional is far worse. Everybody's saying emotional is worse to them. Jen F, she's asking, what do you think? Mel, why is emotional cheating fireworks worse? And then Jen F says, I'm not sure. I have to think about it. Okay, okay. Now we thought you had your answer ready, Miss Jen, with that good question. Simply Taisha says, I'm going to be honest. If he cheated on me, whether it was emotional or sexual, I would kill him. Oh, it would kill him. I thought you said it would kill. I was going to say, don't give it away. They're gonna go back and refer to this video. That is too funny. So she said, let me read that again. I'm gonna be honest. If he cheated on me, whether it was emotional or sexual, it would kill me. Okay. Yeah. I mean, goodness gracious. One of the things I said before was I feel like for me, I'm like, I think I have like a little bit of maybe a wall built up, but it's not, you can hit it and not, you can push it and knock it down. You don't need like an axe to grind through the wall. And so I have a little bit of a wall up, and I just think, as soon as I feel like sometimes when I let that down, it's like the guy is all on you. As soon as you let your guard down, and then that's when he starts to take advantage. And I don't know if Antonio is still in the chat, but why do guys do that? As soon as start letting them in, and as soon as you're ready, you're like, okay, this is what's up. And then the next thing you know, it's like they were chasing you or they were showing you attention. And then as soon as they feel like they got you, they have you where, I feel like they pull away or they start taking you for granted. I guess that's more of what I'm trying to say, taking you for granted. So Pamela says, I think they're both just as bad, but for different reasons. Okay, I would agree with that. Mel says, I'd be so done having something life in danger because he has no yes, because he has no self-control. Yes, and now, now they have super diseases where you can't get rid of them. It's like, before people would say you could just take antibiotics and you get to do this. Now, I don't know. I don't know. It's like now you can't kill the basic germs. So I don't know. I just think physical is yuck. I don't want it. Beverly says, didn't mean to say fireworks, meant to say why emotional cheating is far worse. Oh, oh my goodness. And Pam, Mel says a good point. Isn't emotional cheating kind of an intent of cheating? I think so. I think emotional cheating is cheating. To me, I think if you are in a relationship and you're doing anything without your significant other knowing and being okay with it, that is cheating. That is cheating. If you know your significant other in that way. Now, maybe he has like a BFF, a best friend that he's talking to, and you might not know. I don't know that you would consider get upset with that. But I just think if you're in a relationship, I don't think there should be secrets at all. At all. The thrill of the chase. Yes, yes, yes. I know. And Pamela, that just irritates me. Bev, when I emotionally cheated, I was done. Yes, yes, yes. So now at this age, I would just be like, I'm done. I wouldn't be like cheating too, or like seeing other people too. I think that's not necessarily a man. I think it could be both. Just true. It could be both. It could be both. Beverly, I don't think so. I have many friends who have cheated because they just wanted the immediate pleasure, but want nothing more than that. Yeah, but it's like they should be doing that with you, not with off cheating with somebody else. That's the problem. Jen says something difficult about knowing your man is checking on other women, calling her in the morning and things. So I choose emotional cheating is worse. Okay, all right. That is true, Jen. That is true. Antonio, Perfectly Pamela says that is true. Antonio says everything comes with trust. It does. It does. It does. It does. Mel says, if I'm emotionally cheating, then my intent is to leave. As I said, I'm done just being honest. At this age, I would end the relationship. I would too. I would too. Yes, I agree, but I was talking about the physical versus the emotional. Yes, yes, yes. I agree. Um, Jen F, thanks for sharing, girl. Yes, thanks for sharing. So here's another question. So, so what does forgiveness look like? Have you guys forgiven? So you've been cheated on. Did you forgive the cheater and did you continue? And I couldn't even remember. This has been so far long. I want to say I did for a little bit, but it just didn't last. So what about with you? So did you just, get rid of the, so I guess who stayed with the cheater and how did you forgive? That's what I want to know. I believe males and females can be platonic. I've had plenty of male friends that would check on me and nothing nefarious was going on. That's true. I've had that too. So I do agree that that is definitely a possibility for sure. What do you guys think? What do you guys think? You can forgive them and still move on from them. I have done that. So you're saying you forgive, but you keep it moving. Oh my goodness. No, I didn't forgive. So, Mel, why not? Why not? Mel says I did not forgive. Jeez, Louise. Okay, okay. Yes, yes, yes. Why didn't you forgive? Anybody else? Jen, what about you? Have you ever Jen, did you say you've been cheated on? Yes. Did you forgive? Antonio says, my interpretation of forgiveness is when you can truly have peace of mind as well as spirit to understand what has happened and it does not emotionally or physically bound you up. Ooh, that's a good reflection. Let me read that again. My interpretation of forgiveness is when you can truly have a peace of mind as well as spirit to understand what has happened and it does not emotionally or physically bound you up. Now, I will say that is, Jen, I just read your comment. Jeez Louise. But I think, Antonio, I think that is so well said. I think the key to forgiveness is that you can't let it get in the way. And I think a lot of relationships don't last. And I'm just speaking on like even mine and then friends I've had, is because they said they forgave, but they really didn't, because they kept coming back up. They kept bringing it up. They, became paranoid about what they were doing. And I do agree, it shouldn't emotionally or physically, keep you in that same space. You got to, when you forgive, you move on. So I agree with that. Most of my male friends at some point expressed interest. Yes, yeah, when you have a male friend, I don't, you might not want to go there, but I think when you could go there. All right. But you might not want to. God forgives. I don't. LOL. Jen, you are a tough cookie. You are a tough cookie. I can see you now not forgiving. You are tough. Regarding the cheating, Simply Tasha says, I feel for the okey doke. I love that word, okey doke. And I haven't heard that in a long time. And believe the BS. And of course, it all happened again. One thing about me is once I'm done, I am done. No going back, LOL. Now, that is good. That is good. People say that and then they go back. People say, I've known so many people who said that and they went back. So, but yeah, good for you. Good for you. You're like, I'm fed up. When you said that sentence, I picture Angela Bassett burning down that car, walking away. You guys remember that and Waiting to Exhale? Antonio, that's good info from a man's perspective. Yes, 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 it is. Perfectly Pamela says, I did stay mainly because something that was said in church. The preacher said that when you choose not to forgive, you're saying that the 40 lashes Jesus received was not enough. Well, let me read that again. All right, Pamela, you have said a word. Let me read that again. I did. I stayed mainly because something that was said at church. The preacher said that when you choose not to forgive, you're saying that the 40 lashes Jesus received was not enough. And you know what? That's well said. And that's what I said at the beginning when I said, we forgive men for a lot of things they do to us, but we don't necessarily forgive women. Like women are hard on each other. And I kind of went off on a tangent about the women, but that is so true. And I guess that is probably what I would have considered years ago. But now that I'm older, I feel like now that I'm older, he should be older, right? Right. We should all be more mature. And I think now relationships are about making a choice. Just like we're choosing to lose weight, we're choosing to come on this live tonight. You choose to cheat. And so at this point, I don't know if I would forgive. And I know God forgives, and we've all been forgiven, but you know, yeah, I think that's for me. Like I guess I've been there, done that. So this next particular person is just not going to benefit from that grace. They just won't, because now I'm older, I'm wiser, and I just can't risk being, catching something and, being caught up in a love triangle, all that stuff. I just feel like I'm too old for that. But Pamela, you have said a word. I love that. I love that. And I think that's kind of what has made me forgive before. Like, we all need to forgive and give another chance. Yeah. Well said, Antonio Betts. By that standard, I guess I never fully forgave them. Yes. And a lot of women don't. Simply Taisha, that's why it doesn't work out. A lot of women don't. And they hold the guy hostage. And I think I've been there, done that. I think it was so hard to forget about it. It just wasn't going to work out. And he's right. You truly have to say, I'm done with it. We're not going to even address it moving forward. You're done. And I think maybe unless you get counseling, a lot of people can't do that. All right, Perfectly Pamela is back dropping some gems from our Bible, our one and only Bible. Then he said, how many more lashes would you give Jesus to pay for that sin so you could forgive it? That hit me, but it still didn't work out. And he cheated again. Well, he should have been the one listening to that word. Did he hear the word from the pastor? Or was it just you? Was it just you? Oh my goodness. I think, I will say, I think moving forward too, in my next relationship, we both would have to be, I'm not like one of those people that has to be in a church. You know what I'm saying? Like I could get the word from my home. I could get the word, read the word myself. And, I grew up in church. I've been in church, and, things go on in a church too. But I think the person we would have to be equally yoked. I can't be a Bible reader and he's not. I can't be someone who knows scripture and he doesn't. I can't be someone who's praying and as my way of dealing with stress and he's drinking. And not that anything's wrong with drinking. I think that's okay for you if that's what you do. But for me, I don't do that. And so I think a lot of times, or even a smoker, like sometimes, a guy smokes and a woman doesn't, and she thinks he's going to quit or he thinks she's going to quit, and neither one happens. And then you end up in a relationship with a smoker and you didn't like it. And so I think at this point I have learned, and, I think people have to go have their own journeys through relationships. But I've learned if I don't want a smoker and a drinker, I can't take it up front. Like it's if I know he's doing it up front before I get involved, then that's something that we just can't move forward. And I don't know what your thing is, what your non-negotiable is, but some of my non-negotiables, haven't we all been guilty? And maybe you haven't, but of like letting things slide, thinking they were gonna stop or get better. And sometimes they just never do. They never do. Um Mel says, I should restate. I moved on and thus forgave in a sense, but because I moved on doesn't mean I didn't forgive. It just means I ain't Taisha with the I ain't with Taisha's okie doke. Yes, yes, yes. Well, and I think you can forgive and move on and say, hey, that's, I forgive you, but that's not for me. And yeah, I think that's where I would probably be at. Now in a relationship, I would, but I don't know. We're broke up, I don't really need to forgive you, really, do I? Because I won't be around you, hanging out with you. I probably won't care. Butterfly says, yes, my ex-husband and we worked things out. God had to heal me first before I accepted him back after we separated. The second time it ended in divorce because of double life and abandon. Okay, yeah. And you tried. I think that's good that you tried. That's the thing about a relationship. It has to be a two-way street. It can't just be one person doing all the change and doing all the compromise and doing all the sacrificing. It has to be a shared goal in a relationship to kind of make it work. Perfectly Pamela says the Bible even says you can leave a marriage for adultery. So Jesus understood the betrayal is too much. Oh my goodness. The betrayal of it all. Oh my goodness. You guys are funny. We deal with three aspects of ourselves: past, present, and possibly the future. Okay, yeah, that's so true. That's so true. And I think, Antonio, what some people do is, and I, don't want to be one of those people, is I think a lot of times we bring the past to the present and we take it in our future. And I think a lot of us have to learn how to leave the past behind. And I know I'm probably guilty of that now, and I'm guilty of that. And I think that we have to be careful of making every, man or woman pay for what somebody else did to us, right? And I think men are just as guilty of doing that as women. Women are just as guilty of doing that as men. So, goodness, I'm gonna have to come here when I get my man. My man, my man, my man. Delilah, that's true. Now I know forgiveness does not mean you have to stay. Yes, that's a great point, Pamela. Forgiveness, and Mel kind of just kind of said that in a different way. Forgiveness doesn't mean you have to stay. It just means that you have to, be okay with the situation, let it move on. But I do think when you forgive, you're not taking that baggage really with you. I don't know. Are you? Because I guess you wouldn't be, would you? Oh, Lord, Pam, it says Mel B. I'm so glad you learned that, Pamela. You're deserving of so much more than that hurt. Oh, for sure, 110%. Sometimes our choices we know might not be good for us, but it might be good to us. There's a saying, everything glitter is not gold and everything shiny is not a diamond. Well, I will say, speak a word, Mr. Antonio Betts. He said, everything that glitters is not gold and everything shining is not a diamond. And yes, and you know what? And I'm one of those people, like, I guess a looks attract us, right? And I'm one of those people, I'm looking at the glittery gold. And I'm going to have to start looking past that, right? Past that and look for, and not that that's the only thing I look for. I can say that. But yeah, sometimes that glittery gold just attracts your eye and you just keep looking and looking and looking. And before you know it, you're talking. And you're dating. Butterfly says he remarried 2 weeks after our divorce, then divorced again years later, now with another woman due to being afraid to be alone. Yeah, and looking to replace you. And that's a lot of people, right? I am going to say a shout out to myself, and I guess the shout out to all you ladies in here too. And even, no, Antonio, are you married? Are you single? What's your status? Because we want to know. So if you're married or if you're not married, in like Linda's been married 60 years, I believe. So she's taken. But I will say I give us a lot of credit because a lot of women, and I don't know, maybe you guys are doing this, but I'm not. A lot of women settle and just don't want to be alone. A lot of women are with men and men are with women because they don't want to be alone. And I choose to be alone. And I think if I'm unhappy, I have always said this. If I'm unhappy, I can be unhappy by myself. And some women just can't do it. Some women would rather be with any kind of a man than to be with a good man and wait for the good man. And I tell a lot of women who I see doing this, like, you're blocking your blessing for somebody else. Like, why you have a friend with benefits or a friend with, you know, that's coming over and maybe taking you out here and there, not really claiming you, not really doing that. When you're taking your time, not to mention mixing fleshes and spirits, but when you're taking your time with somebody, taking out of your time with somebody, you're blocking your blessing for that guy that God has, or that woman, or that partner that God has for you. And so I would love to see women not do that. If you're with the guy and this is not your guy, we know it when it's not right. It's just something to do. I would say you got to move him out of the way so that the great thing can come along, right? Because if you're in a relationship with somebody else, it might be a nice guy looking and waiting in the wings, and he sees you're with somebody, and now you're free to, he's free to approach you because now, he doesn't have to worry that you're in a relationship with somebody. So, hopefully if you're in a relationship and you're just, get going along to get along, I would just say, let that chain go and free yourself so you can open yourself up to somebody else. Let's see. Oh, wow. Oh, I read that, I think I read that. Um, so Beverly says my ex cheated and I didn't have a peace of mind because if he said he was going to point A, I find myself checking that he didn't go to point B. Nerve-wracking. My mental health is important. Yes, that is so true. That is so true. Isn't that true? That is how I feel being with somebody who I know is a cheater. It's like I'm always going to be wondering, are you telling me the truth? What are you doing? Who are you doing it with? And at this point, perimenopause has my mind. I can't let a guy get a hold of it too. I'm going to be useless out here. Oh my goodness. Jeez, Louise. All right, Antonio. Yes, now that's a word. I love it. I love it. Male is in caps. I love that. Oh wow, Butterfly. Yes. Butterfly has been through some drama. I'm so glad she's on here helping us navigate this dating world because it's no joke. Delilah says, I fully agree, Dee. I don't even start when they smoke. Yes, you can't, because that's not what you want. So you can't. And I know a situation where there was a woman who told a man that she was, had quit smoking, or she wasn't going to smoke, or she was going to quit. They got together. And this lady, she did not quit smoking. She did not quit smoking and was lying about the fact that she had not quit smoking. And so, and who wants to be in a relationship when you got to hide who you are, right? Because somebody should be encouraging you to be your best self. And when you're hiding things, you can't really be your best self. Mel says, Butterfly, what a gem he was. Oh, oh, yes, yes, yes. Forgiveness is for you as well, not just the other person. That is excellent, excellent point. And that is so true. And when you forgive, you really do move on and could care less. You keep it moving. That's one of my favorite things to say. Keep it moving. And everything in this life, it starts with the beginning. Sometimes because of the physical, we would neglect the emotional and spiritual. Yes, yes, yes. That physical is what blinds most people. It blinds most people. And so that's kind of what I like about being in a long distance relationship. Because if you know me, I've had a long distance relationship. And what I loved about it is that we really got to know each other. We had some long conversations. We talked. Everything was not physical, obviously. It didn't start off really being physical. It started off us really getting to know each other. And so I love that. And sometimes, when you're in the same city with somebody and you don't have to necessarily be physical right away, but it can be harder, sometimes if you have that physical so quick, you're not really developing that emotional and spiritual connection. So, it could be a lot of things going on, a lot of things going on. Delilah says, that's what I think, which is why I say I forgive and move on from him. Okay, yeah, forgiveness is great. I agree, Mel B. Forgiveness is 100% for ourselves. Deb, thank you for joining the conversation. She says, having been on both sides of this coin, I must say it depends on the circumstances. No, I will never condone it, and I plead guilty as charged. People learn and grow, and hard lines soften as we grow. Well, that is a word. I love that. Let's read that again. People learn and grow, and hard lines soften as we grow. Yes, yes, yes. I would agree with that. People are saying hello to Deb. And Simply Taisha says, free yourself and free them. Yes, yes, yes. Agreed. Dee blessings will be blocked while you're over there playing house with the wrong man. Yes, Mel. Yes, 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 it will be. And you know what? I'm going to tell you guys, it's a lot of so many beautiful people in our GOP1 community. And I am not kidding. It just really is. Like, you ladies are beautiful and guys on the inside and out. But I will say, I love the way that people are just kind of open to a relationship and open to just newness of everything. And you also have some people who are not, some people who are kind of closed off and say, I don't want to go there. I'm not doing this. I'm not doing that. But I think people find love now in their 70s and 80s. It's no longer where it used to be if you weren't married by 30 and had kids by 30, or if you weren't married by 50, remember the statistic, you'll never be married. I think people are choosing now not to be married because they find it more advantageous. I don't think people are choosing not to be married because the institution of marriage is not working. And I could be wrong about that. I always go back to the Oprah and Stedman of it all. She could have married that man. Who knows? She might be married to him. I don't know. I don't think she is, though. But, if for a lot of reasons, people just aren't getting married anymore like they used to. And so I think the relationship is still, people are in relationships for sure. They may not be married, but they're definitely in relationships. And so, I just say, just keep an open mind and an open heart. Both things have to be open. Thanks for sharing that. I love that. The hard lines soften as we grow. Mel is saying, hey, okay, I think I read that. I had to go back to that. Antonio Betts is single. Okay, very good, very good. Pamela says, so true. People be blocking their own blessings trying to hold on to someone that's not for them. Yes, and I see it all the time. And I've tried to tell people that, and I tell people, some women will say, well, nobody's trying to talk to me. Well, you don't know that. There could be a neighbor down the street. There could be a guy who sees you at the grocery store every week. There could be somebody at your job. There could be somebody at where you go get lunch. And they could not be talking to you because guess what? They might overhear you talking to this guy on the phone. They might see you out and about with the guy. And so you never know like who's watching and who is, or who God has in store for you. And you're never going to know, wasting your time with somebody else. And so I just say, if you know that person, look at that person right now. If you know that person is not for you, I give it the whole heave ho. Free him too, right? Because if you're not for him, he's not for you, and let him go off or let her go off and find their person. And so yeah, I really do believe in that. I really do believe in like letting go, and I think of sometimes women when we get older, we get a little desperate and we don't need to be that. We don't need to be that because there's somebody out there for everybody. I really believe that. And I do think you could find a second love and a third love. I don't think it's just like a first love, right? I think it could be, you could later in life find somebody. All right. So Mia, look at that cat. I love it. He's chilling. I think that's a he. Mia says, if I got a doubt, you gotta live with I gotta live without you. I know that's right, Mia. I know that's right. Bev says, if you're dating someone and they're doing something that you don't like, the old expression says, start the way you want to finish. Remember, we can't change people. Yes, start the way you want to finish. Yes, yes, yes. I love that. I love that. And I don't think a lot of people do. Because, let's say if, somebody had every box checked off, but being a drinker, like a heavy drinker, not necessarily an alcoholic, but a drinker. Where that it was, a lot of some people drink and don't get drunk, but it does alter their personality a little bit. So let's say he wasn't a drunk, because that's extreme, or she, and I'm saying he a lot because it's because I'm talking, because I'm the one talking. But let's say, if it's a she, replace the he with she, if whatever fits your needs there. And so what if that person did, had every box checked off but that one box, which was like he drank a little bit too much, or stayed out or hung out with his friends a little bit too long? Would that be a deal breaker for you? I wonder, would it be a deal breaker? Um, Mel says, Bev, great point. Sometimes people think they can change folks and end up wasting so much time. Yeah, that is so true. So true. Yes, Pam, it's rough sometimes, but it got to be done. Lord Jesus, please bring my man, my man, my man. Don't make me wait till I'm 70. I know. We still got to be able to we still gotta have some energy and be ready to mingle and do our thing. You know what I'm saying, Mel? And please, God, make it abundantly clear that He is the one. Yes, 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 yes. So yeah, so yeah, and it's funny because you could tell when a guy is flirting with you, and I've had some recent guys flirting and this and that, and it's just like I don't know whether to take them seriously or not. But one of my things is the age, and I can see the age. And I don't know much about the person other than that I do know the age. And I'm just like, do I want to go there? Do I want to go there? Captain Saberholt. I cannot be. I've tried that for years and years, and my mental health declines so badly. Yes, and you know what? A relationship will bring you down. It just will. If you're in the wrong relationship, it will tear you down. And I remember this fun friend I had, and I haven't talked to her in years, but she would get so entwined and wrapped up in her man that she couldn't eat and sleep and she couldn't do a thing. And I used to tell her, like, I've never been to the point where I couldn't eat. And I'm more of a stress eater. Like I'm more of like, I would be with the person that would eat more than eating less. I've never just been like on my couch down and out. Now I have been like, just upset and in tears and all of that. But I just never like, I mean, she used to get herself weak. Like she would lay on her couch. She couldn't go to work. She couldn't nothing. I've not been that love sick. And I guess that's what they call it. And she's been like that more than one time. Have you guys ever been like that? I just haven't been like that. Like, and I say to myself, I don't want that kind of love either. Well, I'm just heartbroken and can't get up and can't walk, can't move, and can't take care of my kid. I'm just out for the count because this did not work out. Um, You guys are so funny in this chat. Perfectly Pamela, I'm at the point where God gonna have to hit me over the head with the man if he wants me to have one. Otherwise, I'm good. Just me, myself, and I. Perfectly Pamela, you're gonna be the first one coming to this chat saying, guess what? My man, my man, my man, I'm getting married. It's always those ladies who say that are in the ones with the relationships and they're hitched up so quick. There's somebody's gonna snatch you up so fast. But I respect that. I respect that because I see some of these men will make you some of these men will make you say that. This dating era is hard. In your 40s, men your age are looking for women in their 20s. If you're 50 or 60, men are looking for women in their 30s and 40s. My thoughts. You know what? That is so true. And the funny thing is, here recently, and always, I'm not gonna say here recently. I always have like the younger guys hitting on me. And I say to myself, why would they want to talk to an older lady? Why would they want to talk to an older lady? And I guess, the guys like maturity and women we've all been told women mature faster than men. Now I don't know if that's a fact, but I thought that was a proven thing. And if that is true, then that means a younger guy that's like, 10, 20 years younger than me, he's going to be really younger than me. So I don't know if I could do that. I don't know if I could do that. But yeah, I feel like men like to date older, and I feel like women have a tendency to date younger. Do you guys feel that? I feel that's true. Um, that's true, Beverly. Okay, perfectly. Pamela is saying yes. So let's ask, we do have a male in here. So Antonio, how are you trying to date a lady in well, first of all, we don't know how old you are. So how old are you, and are you trying to date a lady in their 20s and 30s? What are you trying to do? We want to know, we want to know, we want to know. If he was a drinker, I'm not sure we make it far enough to be a thing. Yes, yes, yes. And he will have to tell, I guess you would see it. Some people are good at hiding things, so until they really have you're all in, and then that's when they reveal. Been there, done that. It's a no for me. It's 2025. We all have cell phones. There is no excuse not to get in touch if plans have changed. I heard that. I heard that. All right, Mr. Bet says a woman or a man have to open their horizon. Okay, okay, okay. I feel you. Heavy drinker, I should say. Dee Dee, I'm not going to mention what I thought you were about to say. We still got to be able to. You know what I was going to say? Drop it like it's high. What did you think I was going to say? But I do believe you should have a standard. I do too. I think we should have standards. I do have a standard, but I don't know, but I'm always told like, I'm just hard. Like my standard, people always make me feel like my standards are unrealistic. And really, I feel like they're super basic. Really, I do. But I don't know. I don't know. I always taught my children, Deb says, that if you spend time trying to change someone, all they have accomplished is wasting a precious moment of their life. Yes, you are so right. And it is hard to change people. I think people can change. I don't know that I've known a lot of people to change because I know for myself, I have changed over the years. I really have. I have evolved and learned and grown to be the person I am now. And I say, if I could change over time, I guess anybody could change over time. I don't always notice that people totally change, though. I don't. Like I can see, over the years, some people who I thought should have changed, I don't think they have changed very much. Um, so Mia's got me singing. Oh my goodness. Should I say? Should I say? Oh, should I save her? She don't want to be saved. How does that go? Something, something. She don't want to be saved. Isn't that a J. Cole song? I love J. Cole. He is a nice, nice, nice rapper. Beverly says, I always say my man, my age ain't looking for me. He's looking for someone younger than me. Then where does that leave me? Yes, yes, yes. Well, you know what? You're going to meet somebody that's your age at your right time when it's all ready to shake down. Bev, I'm not sure that's been my testimony. That said, that could mean I need to be hanging out at the villages here in Florida since they want me. Yes, 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 yes. And see if one wants to date long distance while you're at it. Dee Dee, I was going to say the same thing about Pam. Oh my goodness, that was me. I am totally fine as a single lady. Yes, yes, yes. Perfectly Pamela says, Beverly says, perfectly Pamela, I feel the same way too. I always say God is gonna have to tap me on the shoulder, pull him over, and go to Beverly and say, this is him. This is him. I love that. Mia says, I saw a lady from don't know I saw a lady go from don't know crap about football to decorating rooms in her house of the football team, gear all around. Girl, pull yourself together. Remember who you are and stop playing. Oh, that is too funny. So she went all in. She went all in for her dude. I love that though. I love it. She's like, let me figure this out. Husband number two was 8 years younger than me. Okay, I don't think 8 years is a whole lot. I really don't. I think 10, 20. So so let me ask you guys. I know I'm just saying what would you do? So what if somebody was like 20 years older or 20 years younger? Because I said I would go 20 years, 10 years younger and 10 years older. Would you guys go 20 years older and 20 years younger? What would you do? I think 8 years is nothing. I really don't. I watched Brittany Stodden this morning and she was 16, married to I remember her 50-year-old man with parents' consent, very sad situation. But didn't back in the day they used to marry the young girls off to the older men? That's not where my mind went, but close. Okay, perfectly, Pamela. Pam and Dee Dee, we got the jokes tonight. I'm not sure what I missed. I only know I got energy to change me, not a full-grown man. That's so true. That is so true. It's hard. It's hard. That's E40 Captain Sabo. I don't know that song, or maybe I have to hear it. E40, love them boys. I gotta hear it. I don't know. I don't know that song. We need to change. We need to want to change, and some people don't feel the need. I agree. I would have to agree with that. Some people don't feel the need to. Simply Taisha says, I have changed a lot. The drinking version of me was a lot different. I love this version so much more. Very good. I know you. I think you said you stopped drinking once you got on your GLP-1. So yeah, and I'm sure you probably are just more mellow, and that's how you could be so zen. I love that. Now, Antonio says, now that's not for all men, and I'm trying to exalt myself. I believe you should have an age limit. So what is your age limit? So, okay, I'm 52. So for me, now I don't know for you, but for me, what if I was thinking about dating a 30-year-old? At 52, would you do that? If you were 52, would you date a 30-year-old? Anybody out there in the chat, if you were 52, would you date a 30-year-old? And if you were 52, would you date a 70-year-old? What would you guys do? I miss that mail. If it happens, I'll know it had to be God. Oh, I had to yawn on that one. 11 years was the youngest I've dated. I think that's still pretty reasonable stretch. Taisha, I mostly end up with men several years younger. Okay, okay. And I think you look younger too. Antonio says, I'm in my 60s. That being the case, I can appreciate a woman in their 30s and 40s, but that would not be someone I would try to date. Wow. Okay. Okay. So you want to date someone in your age range. And so when you say you can appreciate, they might have a nice body, but you want that mature body. It sounds like. Ah, perfectly, Pamela. I saw she says 11 years younger, not 11 years older. Okay, so you wouldn't go older, but you would go younger. Interesting, perfectly, Pamela. Bible times they married young. They did. They did. And I see why. I honestly see why. Um, when you have options and you have something to compare a man or a woman to, that's where everything falls down the road, right? Because you're always comparing. And I know on this weight loss journey we talk about not comparing, but people are always comparing. They just do. That's how our brain works, that's how our mind works. And just think, if you met a guy and you had never been with another guy, just think of how different that's going to be than you met a guy and you were experienced. You're going to compare. You just are. And so I see the value in finding your partner early in life and growing together. The problem is it's so hard to grow together nowadays. Good luck with that. All right. Let's see. Let's see. Oh, Deb said mine is 5 years younger. I tell him if he can't keep up, the next one will be 10 years younger. Ah, I love it. I love that energy, Deb. I love it. So cool. No, people in their 20s look like kids to me. It's so weird. Maybe it's because my oldest is 27. Yeah, so I'm still okay because my daughter is nowhere near 30. I have an 8-year-old. So if I dated a 30-year-old, that's not too bad, right? But if had a 27-year-old child, I think I would feel totally different, especially if it was, a son. I think I would feel different. A daughter, maybe I wouldn't feel so different, but yeah, I think that's a huge, big old space right there. Wow. Jeez Louise. Okay. All right. So, and then I wanted to say with Deb saying this, I was thinking if I was dating somebody in their 30s and I was saying like, hey, could I keep up with him? But I'm like Deb here. Could he keep up with me? That's gonna be the question now. He keep up with what I got going on. Okay, so what are you guys saying? 30 is too young for me personally. Okay. Bev is saying no. 30-year-olds for me and 70-year-old, he probably need a nurse, not you. I was 29. Oh my gosh. Wait, when do you mean you were 29? When you dated the younger one? Antonio, I know some immature and wild 60 and 70-year-old women running around the state of Florida. Well, he doesn't need immature and wild. I don't think he needs that, but I don't know. What does he? I don't know. Maybe that would be cool for him. Delilah says, I once dated a man 6 months younger than me, and it turned me off to younger men forever. And that was just 6 freaking months. Oh my goodness. You once dated a man 6 months younger? 6 months younger. Jeez Louise. What was he doing that was that bad that it was the 6 months? No, I was just clarifying, not years old. I just said 11 years. I would date 11 years older than me. Oh, okay. But at this point in my life, I don't think I would date someone 11 years younger again. Okay, I can see that. Mel is laughing at Deb. Mia says, I don't want no young kids. I don't even understand what they mean when they say their little 2025 sayings, eat down, or other terms that slaps. Goodness, I don't need an interpreter. Well, I can't even keep up with you guys in the chat, so I don't need one. My brother is 23 and I could never. Oh my goodness gracious. Ladies, I think Dee Dee must have someone in mind. Do tell, Dee Dee. Do tell. I do not. I do not have anyone in mind. Honestly, I don't. Delilah says, if he was, no, when I'm saying this, I do have a thought in mind, but I don't really have somebody who I'm interested in. And I know that, I'm like pursuing something at that young. And then not that old either. Not that old. Not that old either. I just wonder if you guys would date older or younger. Delilah says, if I was filthy rich and no living kin and willed it all to me, hey. Oh my goodness, that is too funny. Yes, if he wasn't even a whole year younger. He wasn't even a whole year younger. Okay. And then Delilah, it says you are so fun. Yes. I'm trying to, I guess, I'm trying to think, if I feel like I have to like kind of come outside of my box of what I would date, because I said 10 years older and 10 years younger. That's a boundary. Maybe I'll have to go above that or below that. I don't know. I don't know. It's like I kind of just want to be open to the possibility. And I'm open to an older man. No, I think an older man is a little bit easy, but I don't want, he has to be healthy and in shape, because I don't want to take care of an older man necessarily. You know what I'm saying? Like, and before I have to, things happen. You can have a younger man, you end up taking care of him. But you know what I mean? If we're just putting things into perspective and all things are equal. But I just wonder how low I would drop down. I don't know if I would drop down so low, but I know I would go up higher. And yeah, some older, sometimes I see some older men, they have that salt and pepper look going on and they just look so handsome. And then sometimes I see like younger guys and they are cut up, chopped up. They got the biceps, the triceps, the legs, and everything going on. Or they just are so adorable, right? This is so cute, so darn cute. And so, I've seen it go both ways, and it's like, geez, Louise, I don't know what I would do. I don't know what I would do. But I am intrigued by it all. Delilah says, give this live a thumbs up to support Downsizing Diva. Yes, yes, yes. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Mel says, I remember dating a very thin senior man. He was about 18 years older than me. Oh, wow, 18 years. I bet you he was a gentleman and treated you nice. I always associate an older man with being such a gentleman. Maybe because a lot of the older men I know are gentlemen. They have been gentlemen. Okay. So, Downsizing Diva is getting sleepy. Let me ask this other question. This will be one of our almost one of our ending questions. Let's see. Bev, you had a question. Is Beverly still on here? Did we ask your question, Beverly? If we did not, can you put it in the chat? Mel B says, my mom says that old men are sometimes old dogs. Like, I've heard that too. My mom is hilarious and sweet. Yeah, those old men, and I think sometimes old men do some stepping out and they're so clever with it. You would never know they were stepping out. Not all older men. So if you're out there saying I'm a hardworking, true blue older man, I'm just saying that's kind of like some of the stereotypes I've heard too. Let me see. Let's see. Why do you guys think guys cheat? Why do you think guys cheat? And why do you think women cheat? Why do you think any of us cheat? Why do we cheat? Do you think when somebody cheated on you, do you think it was something you're not doing, or do you just think it was them being a dirty dog? What do you guys think? Mel, I've dated those old dogs, shaking my head. Yes, yes, yes. I think we could all relate. He was a gentleman, but I couldn't help think about how old he was. Yes, and I know someone who really likes this lady, but she's older and he just can't get past her age. So I, can relate to a person who is going through that. Dee Dee, you've been off all week. Why are you so tired? I'm just sitting here merely 4 hours into my shift. I have not been off all week. I've been at work all week. Why do you think I've been off? I have not. I've been at work every day. I wish was off all week. Beverly, maybe you're thinking spring break. It's not my spring break yet. I'm not on spring break. Beverly says, my question was, if you were cheated on, what would make you stay? Okay. So that's a good question. So after we answer the why people cheat, let's answer her question. What if you were cheated on and what would make you stay? Now, what is the 80-20 effect, Delilah? What is that? I don't know what that is. When it comes to food, I do, but we're talking about relationships. Delilah says the 80-20 question. Okay. I had a family friend who was known as a runaround man, dirty dog, but he was so lovable. Yeah. Well, the song, Papa was a Rolling Stone. Wherever he laid his hat was his home. People who cheat are selfish and self-centered, looking for a good time. Okay. People cheat because one of their needs aren't being met. Okay. I thought you said you were on spring break. I was hoping you had juicy stories to tell us because you're so tired. I don't have juicy. You know what? I don't really have any juicy stories to tell. I'm kind of like a straight-laced a little bit. I think I'm straight-laced. And remember, I don't put up with a bunch of nonsense, so I'm not gonna have all those juicy stories. I thought you said, oh, I read that. I was reading that like I had never seen it before. At the time when I was cheated on, I thought it was something I didn't do. Now I've grown. Now I've grown and I know better. Yes, yes, yes. Lack of self-esteem is why people cheat. Yes, we cheat for self-fulfillment, to fill a hole that either comes from within or a narcissistic need. And I think sometimes people try to make you feel like when the person cheats on you is something you're not doing. Sometimes it is, and a lot of times I would argue to say maybe every time, Deb, is something that they're lacking within themselves. It's not necessarily something you're doing. So I agree with that 110%. Antonio says he prefers ladies in their 50s and 60s. Okay, okay. All right, very good. So you like people in your age range. Most men are attracted to the physical when they see a good-looking woman. Some men can't help themselves. That is so true. And, and when he died, all he left was alone. Oh my God, we can't have that. Jeez, Louise. Uh. I don't think they cheat because the relationship lacks. I think they believe the relationship lacks and want to find the 20% that they're missing. Okay. And I agree. Just pearl out, peace out, goodbye. Find somebody else, start over. Yes, perfectly, Pamela. You are right. It's not about you as a person. It's just about them. Yes, yes, yes. That's a good way to put it, Deb. It is. It is. Antonio is super sweet. He knows his audience on Dee Dee's live. Yes, yes, yes. He knows us. He knows the audience. All right. So what about would you get counseling? What role do you think counseling plays in recovery or cheating? And then if you were starting a new relationship, would you get counseling first? I know if you marry in some of these churches, you have to get counseling. I should have been drinking my shake and did not. Now, some churches, if you're getting married in the church, they make you have counseling. Would you guys get counseling before you married? And do you think counseling could help cheat somebody who cheated? Mel says, and some 40-year-olds too. Yeah. Um, I think it would be helpful to fulfill the void you feel that causes you to cheat. Yes, I think therapy, any kind of therapy would help. But sometimes I've heard people say that they've had guys cheat and they went to therapy and he cried and he wasn't gonna do it. Sort of like the guy I was telling you, my ex-fiance, and they just cheated again. You went through all that, you listened to all that, you put up with all that, gave them another chance, and only for them to cheat again. Sometimes another person says all the right things we want to hear, and we feel it may be greener grass. Counseling is a great part to a healthy relationship. I think so too. So you had counseling prior to getting married. So what you learned in counseling, do you think it helped your marriage even though it didn't work out? Do you think it was valuable enough to do it again even though it didn't work out, Mel? Simply Taisha says, I emotionally cheated because I got swept away. I felt so seen by him and he was so attentive. He was absolutely gorgeous. I did have those feelings off the bat, but I didn't have those feelings off the bat, but it didn't take long. Okay, okay. So you felt so seen and he was so attentive. And sometimes I think was he married? I don't know. Because sometimes I feel like guys that are taken, maybe because they are not up to no good, probably. But I feel like they are those extra attentive ones and giving you all this attention and this and that because they have something else going on in the background. I feel like sometimes that happens too. Perfectly, Pamela. We did premarital counseling with my husband who cheated on me. I don't necessarily it help thinks if he's a cheater. Okay. So do you think cheaters can be reformed, Pamela? Or do you think once a cheater, always a cheater? And I'm talking about in general and for your ex-husband. No, Mel says it didn't help. LOL. Funny, not funny. Yes. My ex and I went to counseling because things were not going right. Coming to find out, he was cheating. He sat in those counseling sessions and lied. Waste of my time. Oh my goodness, that is so crazy. So he was willing to do all that, but still lied. We both we work together in different departments. I look forward to going to work. Some companies don't want you working with and being in a relationship. It's not even allowed. They find out, you get the axe. So that's kind of cool that you guys could even work together. Deb says we need to be a whole person. Yes, yes, yes. Before we can be a successful part of a pair. It's not two halves we need, it's two wholes. Damn. Ding, ding, ding. Oh my goodness. That is profound. Let me read that again. Let me read it slow. We need to be a whole person before we can be a successful part of a pair. It's not two halves we need, it's two wholes. And I think that's where a lot of us, and including myself, have gotten lost. It's because we think of that half and half making a whole when it's really two wholes coming together. Now, that is a mic drop if ever there was a mic drop. Mia says, I had a little counseling before marriage. My ex stood up in church and said I was going to leave him. That was my last church service with him. Jeez Louise. No, no, no. You aren't going to do that to me. Not say his part. Okay, okay. So he told what you were going to do, but didn't tell what he was doing. Antonio says, I don't believe it's a one-word answer. Well, break it down. Break it down. Didi, what question can a cheater be reformed? Girl, I wouldn't stick around to find out. And Mel is saying, Deb. Yes, yes, yes. I said, Deb is coming. She is dropping some gems tonight. I'm going to have to play this back when I get my man. I'm gonna have to bring my man before Linda and Deb before they can move forward. That's gonna be added to my list. You gotta meet Deb Zimmerman and you gotta meet Linda's journey. I think I think they can be reformed, but they have to want to be. My ex did not cheat. My ex did not. He cheated on his next wife, and I suspect he's cheated on his current wife. Jeez Louise. Oh my goodness. So yeah, he's probably not reformed. Yes, Deb. Thank you for saying that. Everybody's saying yes, amen, Deb. Yes, Deb, which is why I hate to hear the 50-50. No, babe, it's 100. I want to say 100 like that. 100. It's 100. Well, I love that. Okay, now here is my last question. And then you guys, if you have any questions, my last question of the night. Well, no, because this is too easy. I know this group. I know now I got the gauge of this group. I was going to ask a question and you guys were going to say, run, baby, run. Let's see. Okay. So this is not cheating necessarily because, we know cheating. What are some other signs besides cheating that you would walk away from a relationship? What is something else that could happen where you would walk away? I don't understand. There are so many who are cheating with him. Yes. How about that? So many people cheating with him. So what are your deal breakers besides cheating? Because cheating is, most women would say that. Mia says he's gay. Well, yeah, because that wouldn't be very helpful for you if you're not. If you're wanting one orientation and he wants another, so that's not going to work. So that's a deal breaker. Okay, all right. Any other deal breakers? I'm trying to think. What is a deal breaker for me? um Antonio says thank you, Mel B. Mia says, yeah, I lived that one. Yeah, I remember you told us that. That was crazy. Now that was the story. A deal breaker is he's an atheist, so he does not believe in God. Okay, or probably any spiritual being at all, right? Lying perfectly, Pamela said. Okay. Religious, yes, the lying. Oh, yes, Beverly, and abusive. Did Beverly say abusive? I'm sorry, I skipped that one by mistake. He's verbally abusive. Yeah, and that verbally abusive can also be, just as bad as the physical, right? As he's tearing down your self-esteem with every word he speaks or she speaks. Atheist, yes. Yeah, that would be a deal breaker for me too. A man who has no relationship with his children, if it's his fault. A man who talks smack about baby mama. A man who is rude to random people. Yes, yes, yes. I would agree with all of those. And sometimes, those might be a little bit harder to pick out at first. I can see some of those you might be all in before you find those things out. Possibly, quite possibly. Mine is cheating. And it's also the lying too, because I feel like if you're lying, I can't trust you. Those are some big ones. Just being honest. And I think, I always say men need to just come out and just tell you exactly what it is. I feel like you got to give a woman a choice because you can, nowadays you could tell a woman, I just want a friend. I just want to be, I don't want to be in a relationship. I just want us to be, friends, and we can be friends with benefits or whatever. Some women are going to be okay with that. Some women are going to go with that. Some women are going to be okay with that. And I think sometimes men don't give us enough credit and just be honest about what they want and what they're looking for, and then they try to dupe us into, you know, just being with them, right? When meanwhile they have their options open. And I just think be upfront with me. If you don't want to be in a relationship, let me know, because maybe I don't want to be in one with you either. But don't have me thinking like it's just us and we're together. And then meanwhile you're doing A, B, and C and D on the side. I just think nowadays, and same with women, you got to be upfront with what you want and what your expectations are in a relationship. And I'm saying, let me decide if I want to deal with a cheater. Let me decide if I want to deal with you and her and her, and which I don't. But some women might. I just think it's about being upfront and honest at this age and at this point. Been there, done that, not going back, or someone not going to make it out. And I don't and I don't plan on being the one that doesn't. I heard that. You're like, I am fed up. I am fed up. And you know what? There is a such thing. Sometimes women get, or men or women get so fed up, they don't want to deal with the shenanigans. And I get it. It can be such a headache. He's got a tiny telephone and I can't talk on it. That's your non-negotiable. Jeez, Louise. Someone with anger management issues, I'm out quick and in a hurry. I love that. I had a man start the first date talking so horribly about his daughter's mother, I ended it there. That's a good sign, yeah, because that's probably not going to stop. Pamela is laughing. Mia, oh Lord, here we go. Not the return of the micro P. Being honest, Pamela. And she said that's a no-no for her. I love that. No job, no future, bad father. Says it's me or the dog. Bon voyage, baby. She's kicking up to the curb. I love it. I absolutely love it. Antonio says, I believe counseling is a beautiful thing. That being said, the individuals have to be open and true to the person who they are getting counseling from. If not, it won't work. And I think a lot of folks go in there and do that. A lot of folks go in there and they don't tell the truth. And so they're in counseling, but the counseling can't work because the counselor doesn't have the facts. Yes, yes, yes. Me or the dog. I love that. That's why you miss me when I'm gone. I say what some are thinking. Yeah. Yes, yes, yes. Antonio, yes, says Pamela. That was me. Be honest, so I know what we're on. If we're casual, we're casual. Yes, yes, yes. And why can't people just do that? Why can't people do that? And you know what? I have another question. That reminds me when Simply Taisha asks that. I have another, maybe I'll save it for next week. I'll save it for next week because we can go off on another tangent on that one. I'm gonna write this down because otherwise, I can't remember what I did yesterday. Sometimes I can and sometimes I can't with this perimenopause stuff going on in my brain. But I'm gonna I'm gonna write this down. Okay, so what are people saying in the chat? Okay. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm writing it down so I can remember because next week I won't remember. Okay, so Mia, you are a mess. Yes, yes, yes. I believe cheating is the end result of a person's spirit. Now, that was a deep thought. I believe cheating is the end result of a person's spirit. Jeez Louise. Okay, all right, all right, all right. Wow. Um, Delilah says, man, if you guys have been waiting to reach out to your airline, tonight is the night. It's so darn slow. That is so random and funny. Oh my goodness. Delilah, that is definitely a turn off. Bashing an ex is tacky. It is. It is. Mia, I read a story about a lady who literally wrote an article about her man and his micro pee. I wanted to share it with you. Antonio says if a person not going to be true, that's like someone who say they believe in the Bible, putting a hand on a comic book. If you don't have a true relationship, it doesn't make any sense. Yes. And that's the thing. You have to have trust, and you have to, if you want a relationship, you got to act like you want it, right? Not just say it. Oh, I fully agree. Taisha is so gross. It's the one thing to ask and they complain. It's another thing to just be going off. Yes, 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 I agree. I know, Bev. I'm a big old mess. Jasmine Moore, look how beautiful she is. My sister just caught her boyfriend cheating with her hairstylist. What? Wait a minute, Jasmine. Okay, okay, wait a minute. So how did this go down? So your sister caught her boyfriend cheating with her hairstylist. Jeez, Louise, you got to come on here and tell us about this because I got a ton of questions. So wait a minute. So how did they get caught? How did they know? Do you want to come on here and tell us about it? I want to know. Jeez, Louise, Delilah says it's because I'm working. Okay, yeah, I know you're working tonight. And it's just so funny. You're on that you're working and you're on this line. Um, geez, Louise. Now, if somebody was caught cheating with your hairstylist and you probably telling your sister was probably telling their hairstylist some stuff about her relationship, and then here she is cheating with them. That's another thing. You got to be careful about telling all your business to some people. You got to be crazy careful. Jasmine says crazy, and they are back together. LOL. My whole family has vowed to give no more advice. Jasmine. Okay, so let me ask. So, so would you guys tell like it's gonna be hard in that family now because they know it's a cheater in the family, like kind of penetrating that family. So would you guys, if you knew somebody was cheating, like let's say you had a friend, if you knew somebody was cheating, would you tell? And how is that when the cheater comes back around the family? So Jasmine's saying they're not giving any more advice, and I don't blame her. Jasmine. Ah, that's so funny. Soon as I said that, it like spun out. It's like the cheater spun this out. Antonio says a person who don't show me respect. Okay, okay, all right. Yeah, and that's a deal breaker. Somebody who doesn't show you respect. Beverly says, I was dating a guy for over a year. We were having a great time traveling, doing nice things. After a year, I asked him, what are we having? What do you call us? And he says, I don't know. Done for me. I would say done for you, yes, because what else is there? Like you all that time, over a year, and he can't put a title on it. Jeez, Louise, it's time to call it quits. That's the title. Goodbye. You should have told him the title is goodbye. Oh my goodness. That's why you don't talk to nobody about your relationship. Yes, isn't that crazy? The hairstylist. I guarantee you she was talking to that hairstylist. That is so crazy. Penetrating that family. Yes, yes. I've told before, and they stayed together, and I was the bad guy. Me too. Me too. I've told before, and they stayed together, and I had my friends say, "Well, what did you expect me to do? Leave him after leave him because you caught him cheating?" And I said, "I don't know if I expected you to leave him, but I certainly didn't expect to still be hanging around this dude." Because now you want me still hanging out, and I didn't see this dude, like literally with my own eyes seeing him cheating. So that was hard. And like I said, I'm pretty sure whenever my name came up, it wasn't pleasant because he knows I saw him cheat. And then he tried to lie and say I didn't see him holding hands with a girl at the mall. I sure did. So yeah, it's just, and it kind of makes you not want to say anything after that. Gotta keep home troubles at home or someone's gonna swoop right in for sure. Agreed, Pam. I have one person I talk to about my relationship only because she's my prayer partner, and that's it. No one else. If you can't trust your prayer partner, now times is bad. So yeah, I would say you have to have somebody you can trust. Now he's coming to dinner, and everybody is sitting there looking like ducks. Jeez Louise. Oh my goodness. So is it off with the hairstylist? Is he still cheating? How does she know he's not still cheating with the hairstylist? I would have had to get another hair. Does she have another hairstylist? Now you gotta tell Jasmine. I know she has another hairstylist. She gotta have a different one. Taisha says, now I mind my business. TBH. I don't really hang out with anyone. TBH. What is TBH? Help a sister out. Okay, now I want to figure it out. TBH. I don't know. And my mind is blank, Taisha. What is TBH? Yes, Delilah, got to keep a trustworthy person. Yes, yes, yes. Delilah, you talk about your relationship. You talk to us about your relationship. Yeah, Delilah, do tell, do tell. To be honest, of course it means that. To be honest. And it's perfectly Pamela and Mel. Anytime I can't get an acronym, if Darian is not in here, you guys are like on it. To be honest, of course it is. Like, how come I didn't know that? I just thought I laugh at my own self, guys. I do. Jasmine says she went to the hairstylist today for braids. She is Delulu. Oh my God. Now, I even knew that meant delusional. So this girl must be the bomb hair braider because you could not you couldn't pay me for her to do my hair. Jeez Louise. Oh my goodness. Now, wait a minute. So this is your sister. Is she younger? Is that what it is? Is she younger? Because I don't know. I don't know. Would you do that if you were older? I would think the older person would be so tired of the games and stuff, be like, I'm good. So, but if a younger person, I don't know. Jasmine, let us know. That is too funny. Yes, I do, and that's not funny because I guess it's her feelings and stuff, but it just seems like, geez, Louise, you gotta want more for yourself. Yes, I do, but I never discuss bad things, but maybe annoying things, but nothing bad or intimate outside of the fear from my surgery. Okay. I can see that. Jasmine, I feel like she's going to come home bald. She has a bit of alopecia, so she only has so many options. Oh, I'm so sorry to hear that. So this is like, oh gosh. But still, I don't know. Jasmine, I don't know if I could let that hairdresser, I wouldn't trust her. So are they still messing around? Is it totally over? Like, what is going on? Thank you, Pamela. Right, Delilah, says Pamela. I wouldn't trust a hairdresser. Side chick in my head. She said side chick in my head. Jeez Louise. But now I kind of understand a little bit. I understand a little bit when she's talking about she has a special condition. So that's why she's going to this particular braider. But I just wouldn't trust the braider. I would think that the braider is going to sabotage my hair. Mel says, dang, Jasmine, that's messy AF. Jeez Louise, that is messy. Oh my goodness. Wait a minute. Taisha said maybe the hairstylist is the reason for her hair problem because she could have been pulling those braids a little too tight. That is crazy. Now, can you imagine? Just think about what kind of person you would have to be cheating with somebody's boyfriend or husband, and you're interacting with them in a friendly way, knowing that that's what you're doing. I don't know. What would you do? My boyfriend bought me and my best friend roses from the store. He went he went and it was and I was and wait, he went and it was always trying to make me feel like they wanted to get together, hugging on each other in the kitchen. No, no, ma'am. No, no, ma'am. My boyfriend bought me and my best friend roses from the store. No, 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 no. First of all, why is he buying your friend roses? That's going too far. And second of all, a hug in the kitchen? No, ma'am. No, ma'am, Mia. Mind you, the braider has a pet chicken. What? But Taisha said, I don't trust her. Oh my gosh. I know, right, Mel? I went psycho and ain't had a partner since that relationship. It broke me down mentally and physically. So what about the friend? Are you still friends with the friend? Jeez Louise. Mia, oh heck to the nah. Jeez Louise. Maybe he wanted to do a three-way call. You know what? He could have, Mia. Maybe that is what he wanted. Oh my goodness, with the best friend, that is just I mean, I know, man. I was like, that is crazy. Jeez, Louie. Wow, 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 wow. I don't have any stories like that. Like, that's just outrageous. My cousin's husband bought me flowers on my birthday when we were out to dinner, and the flower guy was walking around. So he also bought her flowers. So it wouldn't feel weird for her. Now, I get that. I can see that. I can see that. But I just can't see him bringing, I don't know. It just didn't sound right. I guess in the right situation, it depends on the situation. I guess it would just have to depend on that. Delilah says, not the three-way call, Taisha. Oh my gosh. So was it, it's a lot of people doing that. I think that's another thing that, when people have let other people into their relationships with the threesomes and all that, those relationships don't last. I mean, and I don't know every relationship, but the ones I've heard about, they don't last. I mean, because they usually two of the other people start catching feelings for each other, or the guy starts, or the guy or girl starts doing something with the third person behind the other person's back, and it just all makes up to me for a hot mess of a situationship. Little, let your light shine. Hello, look at that beautiful smile and that beautiful profile pic. Hello, hello. Delilah says, no, I agree with that. Mia's situation is different. Yeah, I know you were saying that hers was different, but that is an example how you said it could be. Remember I told you about the guy that used to buy my friends, take us out for drinks or cocktails or, whatever, we were going out, we buy everyone's food, everyone's appetizers. So I do get that, but I don't know. I think it would be a little strange if, he knew my friend was over and he brought her flowers just because he brought me flowers. And I guess it would be okay if I never felt an energy or a vibe. I think people's energy is a real thing. Like, you could kind of tell when somebody's up to no good, can't you? I usually can. She has my sister like a chicken head, literally. Jeez Louise. Oh my God, I feel bad for your sister. I'm so sorry, Mia. I love the vibe and energy over here. Yes, it's a lot of light fun, right? And Delilah, I'm sure you and your cousin's husband were hugging it up in the kitchen. Oh my goodness. Jeez, Louise. Antonio must be confused when you guys are saying phone and phone call. Antonio, you got to go back and watch 2 weeks ago and you would understand what phone means. Yes, we're not talking about the phone that you dial out on, or maybe we are. Wink, wink, wink. How do you do that? Wink. It's a hecky no for me. I'm not in the advantageous stage of life. Well, not in that way, LOL. No, no, no threesomes inviting folks in. Well, I asked him several times if that's what he wanted, and he said no. I believe he wanted to hurt me. He showed up at her apartment looking surprised I was there. It was terrible. What? That is not cool. I hope you gave him the boot ASAP. Um, And she's saying, hello, Pam. Absolutely not. I could never. And honestly, he wouldn't either. He's a great guy. Beverly, I didn't think of that. Kim J, Sweet Healthy Life is saying three-way call was a good subtle way to put it. It was, wasn't it? Hey, Kim J, Sweet Healthy Life. Mia, oh no, ma'am, she says. It sounds like Mia handled that. Yeah, she did. They tried Mia, but Mia was like, oh, absolutely not. So, Mia, you didn't say, I know you're not her friend, are you? Because you talked about giving him the boot. I don't know if you mentioned her. Mia, I'm so sorry to hear that. I don't know how to reply to people on here. Need a tutorial, shaking my head. Now, I think to reply to a specific person, you just say you add them. But I think people just, you do that @ sign, like, the circle with the, what does it look like, with the A in the A around the circle. But I just think people say people's names in here. I don't know if people always add the person. So, but I don't know. I'm on StreamYard. YouTube looks a little different, so I don't know how it all works out on there. Mia says, yes, that's why I just stay with my kitties and be happy. It's better than worrying if the guy wants my friend. Well, that guy, though, every guy is not going to be like that guy. And I think that's what we kind of have to remember. No nonsense, Mia. I hear you, girl. Yes, yes, yes. No, I could barely deal with one person walking around my house yakking. Oh, that is too funny. If you're on an iOS app, you can't tag them, but on the computer, you can. Okay, okay. All right. So I didn't know that. If you're on the computer, you can tag them. Okay. When I do at their names, they don't come up for me. And mine doesn't either. No, it doesn't either on mine. But I am on an iOS, so he said you can't on your phone. So I guess if I was on my computer, I can. I can't test it out in here, but if I'm in somebody else's chat next time on my computer, I'm going to test it out. Yeah, I'm going to test it out and see. I'm so proud of you, Mia. And Pamela says, perfectly, Pamela says, oh, okay, Delilah, I'm on my phone and watching TV. Okay, yeah, okay. All right. So we've been on here an hour and 45 minutes. I am going to go to bed. I am so tired. I had such a long day. It has been a long day. So next week, we're going to come back with more talk, more relationship talk. After next week, I'll be heading into my spring break. So I'm excited about that. And tomorrow I'm hoping to learn that line dance, boots on the ground. I don't know if you guys know that line dance, but I'm trying to learn that. I don't know. We're going to have to some kind of way get together and do that line dance. And I'm going to get me a fan so I can like whip it out. That's good exercise too. I think doing that is good exercise. So you guys go and be great. Make it a great weekend this weekend. I will see you guys on Sunday at 2. And I will see I will see you guys Sunday at 2. And I was gonna say I will see Kim tomorrow at noon. All right, have a good night, everybody. Thank you. Thank you for all the people that came in. We have comments. I didn't get to all the comments, but you guys can see the comments that everybody is writing. Your message disappeared. Okay, okay. All right, guys. Beverly, you have to let me. Is everything okay with you? We never had a follow-up conversation. So either if you don't want to put it in the chat, text me. Because I'm going to bed. I'm gonna good night, the beautiful ladies. She's saying good night, Mel. Sweet dreams, Dee Dee. Have a beautiful, delicious night, fam. Oh, that's so cool. Thank you. All right, guys, I'm going to go. Sweet dreams, everyone. Perfectly Pamela says, have a great weekend. I will see you guys on Sunday at 2. And see you in your videos, too. See you in the videos. All right, have a good night, everybody. Bye. Thank you, Mr. Betts, for being our guy in here talking to us. We loved it. We loved it. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up on the way out. Thank you. Thank you. Good night.
Downsizing.